What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is. Hey, before we get going with this video, and this video is great news for Oklahoma, but what would also be great is if you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Also, check out the FanStop, www.thefanstop.com. Code Surge, you'll get 10% off your first 3 months. And today, OU got some great news, and I I don't know if anybody could have expected the bomb to drop that dropped today, because this is so huge for Oklahoma as they were looking for a general manager. Curtis Lofton leaves. Who's going to be the replacement? Who's going to be the guy? Should they go to the NFL, get somebody? Where should they go? Now, I don't know if Jim Nagy's going to work, but I don't know how it couldn't. I
Yeah.
mean, the guy, this is a home run hire. If you want to use the term home run, whatever way, this is it. I mean, this is purely it. What a hire from Brent Venables and Joe C. Mainly Joe C, I think, on this. This is a Joe C deal. I mean, there's been a lot of backlash towards Joe C. Jackson
Yep.
recently. But this tells me as a fan, okay, Oklahoma is serious
Yeah.
about trying to get back on top. They're serious about trying to run it like it's supposed to be ran in the NIL era, the evaluation of talent, everything that goes with it. So just huge hire for Oklahoma, man.
Yeah, Jason. I think it would be fair to use the word seismic, honestly, with this, with just like how big of a hire this is for Oklahoma. You've said it. No one could have expected it. Maybe the only name we've heard thrown around up to this point was Alonzo Dotson, just because of his connections to Oklahoma. Scout currently for the Buffalo Bills. But for anyone that doesn't know what Jim Nagy is going to be doing for Oklahoma, it is he will lead OU's roster management and talent acquisition, including player recruitment, evaluation, retention, and compensation as a part of his duties. So you talk about that, just his experience with the Senior Bowl. As you said, Jason worked with a ton of NFL agents, has connections to teams. He's worked in the NFL, and I think this is going to be just super crucial, in which, as you said, Oklahoma, they're starting to, in a sense, maybe take this extremely seriously. Not like they weren't, but they realized that how bad last year got. It was not up to the expectation, the standard at Oklahoma. We've heard that over and over and over again, the standard at Oklahoma. And you talked about the backlash that Joe C had gotten. There was a lot of Sooner fans that were calling for Joe C's head, Jason. They wanted him gone. They were done with Joe C. They thought he wasn't the guy for the job. His time had passed. He's wanting to do things too much like the old ways. Well, I think he put a lot of those critics to silence for now. Now, whether or not this hire is going to work, as you said, that's something that we don't know. But I agree. I don't see how it couldn't, because to me, this is like maybe the perfect guy OU could have hired whenever you were thinking of just like names that weren't even on your radar. Just like you said, this came out of nowhere. And this is a quote from Andrew Nemec, maybe on Twitter, if that's how you say his last name. But Jim Nagy at Oklahoma is one of the best college football hires for any position in recent memory. He's made the Senior Bowl what it is. He's the driving force behind the idea that the draft starts in Mobile. Forget home run hire. It's a walk-off grand slam. And you've seen that even from Josh Pate, Ross Dellinger on Twitter. Just this is the best hire Oklahoma could have gotten, in my opinion.
Jackson, it's probably for general manager. It would be probably best hire for most teams if they
Yeah.
were to hire. He's the thing is he's that well respected. Or I mean, the amount of people talking about Oklahoma today in this hire is ridiculous, and it's because of Jim Nagy, because he's that well known, he's that well respected in the college football, in it, all of it. I mean, he was a scout for what, 18 years, and then he did the senior bowl. Just man, this is absolutely great for Oklahoma. And you talk about evaluation of talent. I mean, he was a scout for 18 years. He ran the Senior Bowl. The guy knows talent probably more than most people. So I don't. There's not enough positive things I can say about this hire. There's really not. And all you have to do is go log into Twitter and just look at national people that have nothing to do with Oklahoma, that are college football people or NFL people. It doesn't matter. Everybody's talking about how great of a hire this was. I don't know where this came from and like how they got this worked out so good for Oklahoma. It's got me really excited for what's down the road here because I think this position, the general manager position, is a pivotal role for these teams. It's so huge, it's massive, and the Sooners got started in a great way here with this hire.
Well, at this point, college football is transitioning to being more like the NFL, Jay. It's not even really, it's not what it used to be. So getting a hire like this is huge. And you talk about the evaluation of talent. Well, I think one of the biggest complaints that we as Oklahoma fans have had up to this point is that Oklahoma's inability to evaluate talent as transfers. The guys that are transferring in, there's been a lot of guys that haven't hit like they thought. Yes, they've had a few names. The high school recruiting for some of the classes, maybe there's some guys that haven't hit near the top, like the 5 stars, high rated, 4 stars even. So getting a guy like this who's seen it all, been a scout in the NFL, seen and evaluated some of the best players that come through the Senior Bowl, many first round picks, a lot of great players in the NFL. He was responsible for helping scout getting drafted to NFL teams. So he's had his hands all over the evaluation of talent. And also, I think we all kind of expect college football eventually to move to more of a salary cap style. And also him just being around those NFL front offices, around GMs, working day in and day out. Now, I know he necessarily hasn't worked with salary cap, but I think that that's going to be super important too, is because he's just accustomed to the NFL style, Jay. And with college football transitioning more and more to what it seems like that, with just the back channels to tampering, getting guys basically be free agents, which I mean, I hate to say this, but in order to win, you're going to have to tamper. In Oklahoma, getting a guy like him who has so many connections to agents in the NFL that are also becoming these agents of college guys, it might be able to help Oklahoma get some guys to transfer maybe during the spring portal that we didn't even know Oklahoma would have a chance to get, Jay. It's just the reality of it. If you want to win, you're going to have to go and tamper and get these guys from these other schools be able to pay the big bucks for them. It's just a part of what college football is becoming. You've seen so many teams do it, and there's clearly going to be no stop to it. So Oklahoma getting a hire like this, Jay, as we said, I don't think we can state the importance of it enough, in which it really is just seismic and big in college football. And really this is kind of maybe even a lot of people throwing Oklahoma to the side thinking that they're done. This is maybe a wake-up call to say, hey, Oklahoma, they're still what they used to be. They're still here to stay.
Well, I'm glad you said that because that's kind of where I was going to go here to close this out, and that's the fact that the narrative around OU football now, you you, you can't. I mean, all you can say is with Jim Nagy going there is that okay, OU's serious about this. They're serious about moving forward and getting the things right that they haven't had right. Uh, and it's just around the country, this hire is just gonna. I think people are gonna see this and say, "Wow!" And we're gonna hear more details of this down the road. We'll hear more. This is the first day it's been announced, but I would love to hear, like, okay, how did this come about? How come Oklahoma? And did other people even think about going after him, or did they go after? I would love to know. Okay, and why Oklahoma for Jim Nagy? Why Oklahoma? And all that stuff we're going to hear down the road when we get to hear from Jim Nagy more. But golly, what a day for Sooner fans because
Absolutely.
this offseason, let's go. Let's get this thing rolling now. I mean, Curtis Lofton left, what, a month ago maybe? And look at this. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, just a massive get for Oklahoma. What else can you say? It's huge. There's nothing really negative you could say about this. This is massive for Oklahoma. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Hey, how excited are you? Put it in the comments. How excited are you over this hire as Jim Nagy becoming the general manager of Oklahoma? Great stuff. Appreciate you watching this video. We'll talk to you next time.